Hi ladies, it's Penny here. I was trying to film this last night. That's my chair moving. But the light in this room was chronic, so I gave it up. So it's a beautiful sunny day today. Not as much wind as has been in the last few days here. So I've got the window open. So I'm praying the cat's not seeing the window open because she comes up the wisteria onto the windowsill, and then it's straight into my craft room over or whatever I'm doing. So hopefully she's sitting in the sun somewhere. So what I was going to show you is, I think I gave you a quick glimpse anyway. I saw this lady called Only Clay, I think her name is. Only Clay. And she did these lovely little pots, which are ideal for your fairy grottos or doll's house or anything like that. So I'll just show you different elements of how you do it. I won't give a full tutorial because my camera won't last that long anyway. And the first thing we did was make them. Now I've got brown clay here, good brown Sculpey or Fimo, I can't remember the make of this one. But what you do is you just make the size of the pot that you think you want, but I usually use all the leftovers. I usually have a pot full of all different colours. I've got a bit dirty or tiny little bits I've got over, so I use them. But this is a good piece of brown, but it doesn't matter for what I'm doing. So I make a nice little mound like that and put it to one side. Now the next thing it's best to do is actually make the flowers, because otherwise you're going to put the oven on just for that. So it's not really, just for that, so it's not really worth it. So I make the flowers as well. Now these are some of the flowers I've made, and these have been in the oven. I think I've got 3. I think they've been in the oven here for this little section. That's half made. I've not put that one in the oven. It just wants a little bit of yellow on the top, that one. But the lady in question, I don't know her name, she didn't give a name. She made very delicate, very thin petals of daisies. Now, even though I use my faithful magnifying glass, I can't get that small, I don't think. So I've stuck to this type of flower. So, let me see, you can see that. Yeah, yes, you can see that, can't you? So all I do is put the petals. I make a sausage first and then cut up the bits of the size that I want, and then just flatten them a little bit and use my trusty toothpick to pick them up and bend them in. This is quite a bigger flower, but I've done this on purpose to show, so it's easier for you to see and for me to handle at this time. So I'm not using my magnifying glass. So, and I get a tool, a little spongy tool, something like that, just to make some, little shapes and that inside the petal. I think I've done the centre just slightly too fat, but you can always lift them up. Now, if you've got delicate, nice fingers, you can do this without using tweezers, but I just like to squeeze the end. It sends the petal then into more movement type of thing, and we'll put a little bit of yellow in the middle and just put some indentations, and plus it'll stick it to the thing. Now the best way to pick these things up, especially if you're doing smaller, is with a blade of some kind, and then squashing it again as you pick it up. So that would go in the oven with your base for your pot. So the next thing is sticks. Now the lady on the video used balsa wood. So you know how nice and thin that is, and she was able to cut very, very slim pieces. What I've used is the thinner lollipop sticks you can get from Pound Shop, Hobbycraft, anywhere like that. I think even The Works does it in England as well. So these you just break in bits off that you want for the size, like so. I did that and I didn't like it because I hadn't cut it in half, so a few of them I cut in half as well, and then stuck them. I stuck them with this glue. It's a multi-purpose. I like this glue, it's strong and it's clear. So after you've done that and you painted it, now the colours I've used just for this is what's this called, Folk Art Butter Pecan. That's if you want that like washed wood there, and darker ones I've used as burnt sienna and burnt umber. So you should do the light ones first, and then this isn't the brush I normally use, but it'll do for now. So then you touch up with the darker colours as you go, especially in the crevices between the planks of wood. planks of wood. Yeah, it's lovely today. Harper's clearing out his shed because I've got a new shed coming. Didn't realise he had so much rubbish. Don't forget to do the tops. Yes, if I hold it that way, can you see a bit better? Don't forget to do the tops and maybe a little bit in. So you get the idea. And then even with a felt mat you can make knots like in the wood. So I won't carry on with that, but you get the general idea. And the next thing you do is get some more clay. Yep. More clay. I've not really done one this side, I don't think. Pop that in. Now, because you've already put this one, because this is hard now, this bottom piece, because you've had it in the oven, 110 centigrades, and I think it was about 15 minutes. That was all, because it's going to go in again. So this soft clay adheres to the already baked clay. I use some liquid clay. Hey, said that without stumbling. So push that in there, and then with whatever you want, you can push it in around the mould like that. Now you can take a nice lot of time going round and 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 round. I'll just do a little bit, just to pull it up so it looks a bit like clay, soil I should say. Okay, a little bit more, like you would soil. Okay, so there's that. And the next thing you do, you have to make something for your flowers to stick to. These are rather old flowers that have been lying around, and so I've used the wires from them and put a tiny bit of green Fimo around. I don't know if there's a spare one there I was going to show you, but you get the idea. Just put a tiny little bit of Fimo around so you've got something. Where's that one? You've got something to stick your flower to. Yeah, like that. So when you've done those, put them to one side, and it's best then to do the leaves. Now the leaves I showed you with when I was doing that other clay, so I don't think there is a mould small enough, but I mean leaves are so easy to do anyway. If you just cut it around like that, and then there's a sticky dick, and then just hold it a little bit move that out of the way, Penny. Oh, got a bit red. You do need your wet ones here, especially when you're dealing with red and black in that. It goes all onto your next project or your next clay that you touch. Get off me! So one line, and then the veins of the leaf, and use that blade again, pen, and you won't squash it. So we pick it up. There's our little thing, and then we can start putting leaves in. Now for the beginning I think I need slightly bigger ones, so and that's not a very good one, is it? Hey, here's another one there. We're getting there. How's that thing? I was going to ask Arthur to go out today while it's nice, but with that shed coming, we've really got to empty it. He's got to really empty it and get prepared in the back garden for it. So there's a bigger leaf. Yep. Just made a little indent. I just put that on the edge and use my toothpicks again, and just place it in, and then you can curl up your leaf over the side like so. So put some more in, like that. I mean, all leaves will, you want them all going dead the same way, or like that. I'm going to put that one a little bit more in the middle. You could put as many leaves as you like in. I'll turn that round the right way and just press it in gently. So you get the idea. I'm only showing you the idea here. I'm not going through the full thing. I'm about to put quite a few more leaves in. And then these, which you've already, did I tell you? I can't remember if I told you. After you put the green on, these go in the oven with your flowers, etc. Okay? And then they're hard then when they come out, and you can put your flowers on them. So these are a bit long, so I'm just going to find my snippers. Here they are. And stick some of these in. Or different lengths, because flowers come in different lengths. Now I know there's a tiny bit of paper and there's wood around this project before. Oh, there's a birdie trying to come in my window. Bless it. I bet it's looking for somewhere to nest. You can go in wisteria, don't mind. So that's what we'll do. Yep. And that all goes in the oven, doesn't it? Yeah. So when that goes in the oven, that will harden the leaves and that ground clay, yeah? And you've already hardened these, and you've been able to stick them in the soft clay. Alright? So that's that part done. Another about 15 minutes, I think, for that. Then that comes out. And then what we do then is arrange our flowers, and it couldn't be simpler. You're just going to tiny bit of glue and find which one you want to be pink. Hold it a little bit. So you're going to end up with something like that. Okay, and you're going to put the flowers on all your stems, whichever colours, whichever size you want. Then when it's done, Blue Peter moment. Let me just get a wiper. Yeah. Do you remember yesterday, ladies? I was saying I've lost my gold thing. I found it. It was right in front of me. This is what I put on that brown clay. You know, in the middle of a flower, and a couple of other pieces, but that's what I used anyway, and on somebody's eyelashes. And that can go in the oven as well. So I found it. Anyway, back to this. So that's going in the oven now for about 15-20 minutes maybe. Doesn't take long. Then when it comes out, the last thing to do, you can, I have on mine put a gloss, a Sculpey. Oh, it's this one. Yes, a satin glaze. I put a satin glaze on it, and it protects it a bit, you know, from dust and things like that. So do that, and then you're going to make a band so it looks more like a beer barrel. And what I did for that is coloured a piece of paper, black, brown, gold, whatever you want. If you do it like a bronzy colour, it look like a nice piece of bronze around it. Cut it out. That's a bit thick, this one. I'd make that one slimmer. I would. And I would if I had some scissors. There's some. So, really slim. I think the lady I got this idea of, she had quilling paper and she cut that in half, so you can imagine it was very thin. So if you stick that around there, I could show you where the wood is. Couldn't I have painted it? Yeah, you get the general idea. And that's your pot. So I will show you some I made earlier. This is the biggest one I've done. Okay, see that was rubbish clay. That's a little bit of black paper around it. And then I thought I'd go a bit smaller. So I did this one. Oh, and I can see lovely glue strands everywhere. I will pick them off. I will look through my magnifying glass and pick those off. So that's that one. So the flowers had to be slightly smaller. And then, you know me, I have to see how small I can go. So I went that small. And it's so delicate. I put a dome over it. What I used for the base for that was a mirror. What I use in embroidery. And I thought it would flecked up a little bit to the little pot. So I think I'll just do them because I want to see if I can do them. So are my eyes still working? Can I do that small? So that's my 3 pots. 1 for in the house and 2 for on the fairies patio there. Okay? Hope you like that one, ladies, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.